All right, this is Obaid on behalf of American Income Life, and in this video, I'm filling in our arrest questionnaire. Okay, so this questionnaire is for the life insured if he or she has been arrested in the past. Okay, this could be either for a summary offense, which is a serious kind of offense, or it could be for an indictable offense, okay, which is a more serious offense. Okay, so an example of a serious offense would be homicide, assault, okay, so on and so forth. Okay, summary offense, graffiti, verbal abuse, okay, so on and so forth. Okay, so as per crime severity index, okay, the severity index has gone up starting 2019. Okay, it was 79.75 overall. It went up to 80.45 in 2023. Okay, which means the number of severe crimes are on the rise in Canada. All right. Apart from that, this is a list of both summary and indictable offenses, starting with homicide, which is an indictable offense. Okay, as you may notice, the total violations have gone up from 8,519 to 13,056. Okay, so as you may notice, okay, some of the crimes such as attempted murder, okay, assault, okay, break and enter, okay, motor vehicle theft, from 234 to 2,566. Traffic violations from 109 to 164. All these crimes have gone up. Okay. Okay. Cybercrime is on the rise as well. Okay. With a total of 48,318 incidents to 93,068 incidents in 2023. Okay. Let's go ahead and fill in this questionnaire, starting with your first and last name. Want to make sure your first and last name or the first and last name of the life insured matches his or her government piece of photo ID. Okay, so let's say this is XYZ. Okay, and the application number would be the application number of either a space policy or a separate policy. Okay, so your questionnaire, the one that you're filling in right now, this could be because you want a rider, optional coverage, supplemental coverage, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. It could also be because the insurance company wants more information for them to underwrite your premiums, coverage, and your policy in general. Okay. If the risk is too high, been arrested too many times back in the past, it's possible you might not be eligible for life insurance. Okay. Date of arrest. Okay. That has to do with illegal activities. So when it comes to date of arrest, okay, you may check your criminal records, okay, for all the information relevant to your criminal past. Okay, so when it comes to date of arrest, this would be the date when the life insured was arrested. Let's say this was 23rd of October, 2022. Place and city, let's say this is Toronto, Ontario. Description of the incident that led to the arrest. So this could be a hit and run accident. So the plaintiff, okay, was charged with a hit and run accident, okay, leading to vehicle damage, okay, and a personal injury. Okay, and the charge over here. So what are the charges? Okay, so as per the Criminal Code of Canada, okay, your failure to stop after accident is relevant to hit and run, and this is section 320. Okay, so as per Criminal Code, okay, section 320.16, okay, the plaintiff, okay, all right, okay. So in most cases, the person who is facing the charges will be the defendant rather than the plaintiff. So we'll type in defendants. Okay. So the defendant failed. Okay, the plaintiff would be the person who is suing the other party. So the person who is injured in the accident. Okay, so the defendant failed to stop after the accident. Okay, again, this would be defendant over here. All right, now was this a felony, misdemeanor, or aggravated? Okay, so you've got three different kinds of charges. When it comes to felony, felony is a serious charge. However, it's more of an unintentional felony or unintentional offense. So if you do end up hurting somebody seriously to the point that they might pass away, okay, and if this was unintentional, okay, such as a unintentional hit and run, it would be under felony. Okay, so this would be felony. Okay, say for example, a misdemeanor. Okay, so misdemeanor would be more of a summary offense. It could be drawing graffiti on public property, such as a property that belongs to the city. Okay, or it could be some kind of verbal abuse. All right. So when it comes to misdemeanor, okay, even drawing graffiti classifies under vandalism. Okay, and for that reason, you could be charged up to $5,000 based on the bylaws of your city. Okay. And aggravated assault. So this is intentional injury or harm. Okay. So if somebody drives a vehicle, intentionally runs over another person to cause them injury or to kill them, this would be an example of an aggravated assault. Okay. So since we chose felony, these two will be left blank. Were you convicted? Was a life insured convicted? So you'll say yes. Date when this person was convicted. Usually this will be after the date of arrest. Okay, so when it comes to conviction, this has to do with found guilty by the court. Okay, so once you're charged by the legal authorities, such as the police, you'll be tried in the court. You'll have the option to appoint a lawyer for yourself. And if you're found guilty based on the evidence, okay, based on alibis, evidence, so on and so forth, okay, you will be, okay, convicted. You will be charged, okay, okay. So you will be convicted, as in you were found guilty by the court, rather than you were charged by the police, okay. So when it comes to conviction, yes, you were convicted, you were found guilty. So let's say the date when you were found guilty, this was 23rd of November 2024. Okay. So let's say the court proceedings took about a year, length of the sentence. So let's say this was 20 years. Okay. Since it was a felony rather than aggravated assault. Okay. Any time served in jail. Okay. So yes. So far, let's say you served, okay, the defendant served about 5 years in jail. Okay. Yeah, or what you can do is type in 5 years over here. So 5 years. Okay. Okay. Anytime served in prison. Okay. Same story. So this will be a yes. This is more of a repeat. So 5 years. Okay. Any deferred adjudication. So when it comes to adjudication, this is basically a service that's provided by a third party. Okay. So if you do not plan to wait for the court hearing or you to get a date for your court hearing, you as well as the plaintiff, you both have an option to go to an adjudicator. Okay. So an adjudicator is basically a third party, a neutral party, an independent third party for a decision. Okay. So by definition, in an adjudication, the individual or organization wishing to refer a dispute to adjudication and the individual or organization from whom money is alleged to be owing present their dispute to the third party or the adjudicator. The adjudicator will consider the evidence and make a decision within 30 days of the claimant submitting its supporting documents. Okay, so again, this is an alternative to a court hearing. All right. So any deferred adjudication, in this case, you will type in, okay, not applicable. For how long? So the length of time is not applicable as well. So when it comes to parole, we're talking about conditional release, and the insurance company may verify this via inspection reports. So when were you paroled or conditionally released? And how long was the life insured under parole? Okay, so by definition, parole is a carefully constructed bridge between incarceration and return to the community. It's a conditional release. Okay, and you're still under the supervision of a correctional officer or parole officer, okay, Correctional Service of Canada. Okay, you're not completely free, okay, without supervision, but you do have the opportunity to make a contribution to your community, to your society. All right. Okay, so most of the offenders, okay, under parole are serving a fixed length sentence, so they're not serving a life sentence or the death penalty. It usually means that they would be out of the prison after a certain amount of time. Okay. All right. Okay. So parole. So yes, over here, date when the parole began. So let's say your parole started, okay, on the 10th of May. This would be, okay, let's see, 5 years, so 25, 29, okay, 20, 30. All right. How long? So let's say the parole was for 2 years. Okay. All right. And probation. Okay. So if probation applies in your case, let's say community service. Okay. You will need to declare that as well. So when it comes to probation, probation is a type of sentence and an alternative to jail. It's a court order to do certain things for a period of time, also called a probation order. Okay, so it could be court ordered community service. Okay, so let's say your sentence was 20 years long. Out of those 20 years, you spent 5 years in jail or prison. Okay, the next 2 years you were paroled. Okay, you were under the supervision of the parole officer. That's a total of 7 years. And the rest 13 years, okay, this would be, okay, so the remaining 13 years were spent on the probation, okay, doing community service. Okay, did you pay a fine? Since you were under probation, you also ended up paying a fine. Okay, so it was probation plus a fine. So let's say total of $20,000. Okay, so you will say yes. Over here, amount of fine, this will be $20,000. So any other arrest, were you arrested for anything else? Okay, if yes, you will need to fill in a separate questionnaire. This would be another arrest questionnaire. Okay, so let's say if you had more than one charges, okay, you will need to complete a separate questionnaire for each charge. Okay, okay, so let's say no in this case. All right, and if this was driving while intoxicated or driving under the influence, you will need to fill in your alcohol use questionnaire. All right, so starting with your signature, so this will be the signature of the life insured, as well as the date. So date when you signed the application, let's say this is 24th, 10, okay, This is, let's say, after you get released. Okay, so for 13 years from 32, 2045. Okay, so this will be 2045. All right. Okay, so this questionnaire was filled out or would be filled out in the year 2045 after the person gets released or the life insured is released. Okay, the name of the agent or the life agent, let's say this name is, or signature rather, so the signature for the life agent, okay, which could be your name as well, okay, the name of the life agent. Okay, so this is basically how you fill in your arrest questionnaire for arrests other than DWI, okay, or driving while intoxicated. So on behalf of American Income Life, this is Obey. Have yourself a great